Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing? I hope everyone is doing well. This video is going to be about my food cost comparison to home meals versus frozen meals or meal prep. I did do a poll on the community post, and I got almost half and half votes between the meal prep and the Super Bowl snack stadium. So I'm going to do both. I have to start with this one though, even though I had one less vote for this one, because I can't get myself out of town to go to Party City to buy the things that I need for the Super Bowl. So I'm going to start with this video, and I'll probably get to that video sometime next week. So keep your eye out on that. But first, I need to go to the grocery store. I'm giving myself a $100 budget just for myself, for all of my own meal prep and all the food that I'm going to be making in this video. So I'm going to head over to Stater Brothers because it's what's in town. So I'm going to go over there. I'm going to do some cost comparison. I'm going to look at the things that I see on the shelves that would be interesting to me and what I would like to recreate. So I just got back from Stater Brothers and I picked up all of these groceries. I paid $94.89, but that doesn't include some of the things that I already have in the kitchen. I'll run by those things later on, but let's go ahead and go through with what I did get today. I got some tiny whole green beans. I like these. These are the C&W brand. They did have ones that were just a little bit cheaper, but I prefer whole green beans, whereas cut ones, for some reason, I just feel like they taste a little bit better. They were $3.49. You can find other brands for just a little bit cheaper, but I find that these ones are the best. Then I got some fresh baby spinach in a bag, and that was $2.79. I also found some Nature's Own Life Honey Wheat keto-friendly bread for 40 calories. It's actually really soft, and it intrigued me because of how soft it was. Another reason why I got this bread was because it is the Nature's Own brand, and our family really likes Nature's Own. So for me, it was worth paying $4.49. So buy at your own risk. It is a little expensive. The next thing I bought were some Jazz apples. I've mentioned in my last two videos when I picked up the Cosmic Crisp apples that I really like those, and I do. They were so good, but when I realized that I was paying over $10 for Cosmic Crisp apples, I wanted to settle for something just a little bit more affordable. So I picked up these Jazz apples, and they were on sale for $1.49 a pound. I got almost 2.5 pounds for $3.43. So that saves a little bit in my pocket. And you know, the Jazz apples, they're pretty good too. They're very similar to the Cosmic Crisp apples or a Gala apple. So they're very crisp and sweet. I'm gonna be happy to have these apples on hand for the week because apples have now become like one of my favorite go-to fruits. Okay, so I also got some strawberries. These strawberries have been looking pretty good lately. They were $4.49 for the pound. They are on the big side. They're pretty huge if you look at them. They're like humongous. So 1 or 2 strawberries will do. I got some portobello mushrooms. I saw the Healthy Choice Simply Grilled Chicken Marsala dish at the store. I've actually gotten it before and I really like it. It's really low in calories. It only has about 180 calories. It's not enough to make a full meal, so I also bought the brown rice, and I buy it like this because to me, when you buy brown rice in a bag and you cook it yourself, it always overcooks, even in a rice cooker, and it like balloons up and the texture is just odd. So I like to get this one, and it's like the closest thing to eating white rice, but I like the brown rice because it's easier for me to digest. The mushrooms were $2.99. I got the rice for $2.69, and it's gonna go really good with that chicken marsala dish. The next thing that I got was an onion. It's 99 cents a pound. I only got one, and it was for 68 cents. The next thing I got was some red baby potatoes. I got the smaller ones in a bag because they're a little bit cheaper than buying the big ones. I also got the red ones because they're packed with more nutrition and less starch. I'm the only one who likes these ones, so I wanted to take advantage of getting the most nutrition in my diet. So I picked up these ones, and these red potatoes were $3.99. I also got some meatloaf seasoning mix because I have that ground turkey in the refrigerator still that I wanted to make meatballs with, and that came up with my next idea for another one of my meals that I have planned, and that is for the Healthy Choice Simply Steamers Meatball Marinara. So it's basically meatballs with penne pasta. It has tomato and spinach. So I'm going to try to recreate that dish with some items that I already have at home, plus some items that I bought here. That's another reason why I bought the spinach. I also bought the meatloaf seasoning mix and the onion to make the meatballs with, and then I also got some gluten-free penne pasta. I'm trying to go gluten-free because oops. Gluten-free just works better for my digestive system, and I'm the only one who likes it, so this is a good way for me to get my gluten-free items in. The gluten-free pasta was actually this brand, the Full Circle Market brand from Stater Brothers, was a lot cheaper than if you were to buy the Barilla brand or any other brand. These ones were on sale actually for $1.99, I believe. Yes, $1.99. So I got the penne and I got spaghetti. I picked out another meal to make from the frozen section. It was a fettuccine alfredo with chicken and broccoli. I'm gonna try to recreate that. So I got the spaghetti instead of the fettuccine because I couldn't find gluten-free fettuccine. So I settled for this one. This was also $1.99. And then I got some sourdough English muffins. These are not gluten-free, but sourdough has a little bit less gluten in it than normal English muffins or bread or whatever. So I picked up that one. I may or may not make some breakfast sandwiches out of it using some leftover turkey and some cheese that I have in the refrigerator already, so I might make those to have on hand. I also picked up some Nut Thins and a Crunchmaster. These are both gluten-free. I like both of these brands. I like them because they have that nutty texture to them, and you can't really tell that they're gluten-free. The Crunchmaster crackers were $4.99 and the Nut Thins were $4.49. I also picked up some Laughing Cow garlic and herb cheese wedges because this is what's going to go with those crackers. This makes a really great snack for in between meals. I got some eggs. Again, they were still $8.89 for an 18-pack. They are a staple in the family, and I'm not happy about the price, but you know what? There's just some things that I can't part with. I eat eggs all the time, whether they're boiled, over easy, scrambled, in a frittata. I make an omelet. Like, eggs are a big staple, and you know what's funny is that when I was younger, I didn't even like eggs. I didn't even start liking eggs until I was in my mid-30s. I'm going to be reaching 40 this year, so I just got started on eggs, and I feel like I need to have them in my life. I also picked up some liquid egg whites because I want to make these egg white like bowls that I found in the freezer section. They're called the Jimmy Dean Delights Breakfast Bowl with turkey sausage, diced potatoes, scrambled eggs, turkey, sausage, and cheddar cheese. So I already have the cheese alternative in my freezer or in my fridge that I'm going to be using, but I did pick up some Stater Brothers diced potatoes, and then I have spinach already here, and then I have turkey sausage in the freezer. So I think that's all going to make a pretty good breakfast bowl. So the egg whites were $3.49 and the hash browns were also $3.49. I also picked up some half and half to make that fettuccine alfredo sauce. Instead of using whole heavy whipping cream, I'm going to use half and half because it's a little bit lighter. I was going to pick up a pre-made alfredo sauce to put with it, but I wanted to have something that was a little bit more fresh, a little bit more tasty. So the half and half was $2.99. I also got some Prego spicy marinara sauce. That's gonna help me make the meatball penne pasta that I have planned. That one was actually on sale for $2. I did a price comparison with all the pasta sauce that they had, but I did switch it up. I got the spicy marinara because it's something that my family wouldn't normally like, so I picked it up for myself because I like everything really spicy. I also picked up some pre-cooked bacon. So this one was $4.79. I believe this was a little bit cheaper than the Oscar Mayer brand, but I've actually eaten this one and I like it. It tastes just as good as real bacon. It is a little bit thinner, but you get 3 slices for 80 calories. That's great. I'm probably going to just chop this up. This saves me from having to fry it up myself, but it's actually cheaper than buying bacon that's not cooked. I also picked up some ranch because I've been on a ranch and carrot dip thing. I have some carrots that I already prepped in the fridge last week that are still good, so I got the ranch to go with it. Sometimes you just gotta get the full fat dressing. I've tried buying reduced fat or low calorie dressings, and I can't get myself to like it, but sometimes having a little bit of fat is a good thing. And the ranch went for $5.99. Lighthouse Homestyle Ranch is the best. Also, the Lighthouse blue cheese dressing for salad is also the best. I bought some raspberry cheesecake, coconut milk, non-dairy frozen ice cream. I paid $3.99, and this is probably going to be about 3 or 4 servings. But sometimes you just need to have a little bit of a treat at the end of the night. I don't know if you're like me, but I really enjoy having a dessert once a day, and I feel like this is gonna curb that craving. The last thing that I got was this coffee creamer. I bought that one for, I think that one was also $5.99. No, it was $6.99, but this thing will last me for an entire month. I only use about 2 to 3 tablespoons in my cup of coffee, and I never actually finish it. This isn't really a budget-friendly meal prep. This is something that I'm doing for my health. It's also a good way to do a cost comparison. That's another reason why I did this. It's not necessarily trying to say that I want it to be more cost effective. I just wanted to see what the price difference would be. And let me just mention that I'm probably not going to be using all of the ingredients all at once, so I'll probably have some leftovers. I'm really happy with my purchase, and now I can't wait to get started on all of my meal prep. So I want to try this Nature's Own bread, and I want to give you guys my honest opinion of how I think it tastes. So it is a little light and airy. You could see bubbles through it and stuff. It does feel soft. But I'm gonna toast it, and I'm probably just gonna put some peanut butter on it. Okay, so it smells like actual bread, and I'm not gonna put a lot. I just wanna put a little bit. It's only 40 calories per slice, and it says that it has 10 grams of carbs minus 3 grams of fiber, so there's 7 net carbs per slice. So it's not carb less, it's just lower carb. And it's made with real flour, so this isn't a gluten-free. You know what's missing? Some people think I'm weird for this, but I like to put cinnamon on my peanut butter. Cinnamon is so good for you anyway, so bon appetit. I suggest you try this bread. It's actually really good. All right, let's move on. Okay, so here are some of the ingredients that I have left over from last week's grocery haul that you might recognize. So I still have some plant-based cheddar cheese, and this, you know what? I think I'm gonna start buying this brand over the Daiya. I really like it. It tastes very, very close to cheese. Has a really good sharp flavor to it, and it's really nice and creamy. The texture is great, so I might just continue buying this just because it's a lot cheaper even. I also have some more of this turkey that I bought, so I'm going to be making some sandwiches using this, breakfast sandwiches, using that. I have 2 of my zucchinis left over that I haven't eaten yet that are on their last leg, so I'm going to be cutting those up. I have 1 more bell pepper left that I didn't use. I have some leftover sun-dried julienne cut tomatoes that I'm going to be using in my pasta. I also have the ground turkey that I have left over that I have not done anything with, so I'm going to be making the meatballs out of this. I still have my Tyson grilled chicken strips that I'm going to be using in my other pasta dish, and I have turkey patties that I'm going to use in my breakfast. This is everything that I have left over, plus I have a cucumber, an English cucumber, and a little bit of another one that I'm going to be cutting up too, just to have it on hand. And I also have some carrots that I have in water that is left over from the week. I prepped these last week. When you put them in water, they last forever and they don't get dried out. And I also have some chopped onions that I prepped last week as well. So I have this left over. So I'm not going to chop up this onion. I'll save this for another time. That way it's already nice and ready for me and I can get started on everything else. But I do want to chop up the zucchini, the bell pepper, and the cucumbers. I had to change because my sweater was getting a little too warm. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut up these zucchini and get to prepping everything else. Stop there because my kids are going to be home in about an hour and I have a couple of things that I want to get done around the house. So I'm going to put all of this stuff away and I'm going to get started bright and early tomorrow morning. Oh, I didn't even realize I was recording. I've been recording for almost 6 minutes and didn't even notice. Anyways, so good morning, guys. I'm gonna start off with breakfast because I'm probably gonna eat some afterwards. So let's go ahead and get started on the Jimmy Dean Delights frittatas. And it comes with 6. I don't know how many I'm gonna make. It just depends on what I put together. So I might make more than 6, I might not, I don't know. This meal is super easy. It takes not very much time at all. And you can add any additional ingredients in here as you want. I'm just trying to mimic the actual frittatas from Jimmy Dean, but I would totally put the sun-dried tomatoes in there, or jalapenos, or whatever else that you might want to put in there. I just really enjoy having really easy and convenient meals that are available to me, so it takes no time at all to reheat these. And it basically takes out the guesswork of what to make when you're in a hurry. Sometimes as parents, we are so consumed with taking care of everyone else that we always forget about ourselves, and sometimes we'll skip breakfast or lunch. So this way, it's always easy and convenient to have in the freezer for whenever you really need something quick and on the fly. And basically all I did here was put all of my ingredients in a bowl of scrambled eggs, and I oiled up my muffin pan and then baked them off in the oven for 18 minutes. And also I was taking notes of all of the ingredients, the cost, and the calories so that I could keep track of everything to help me compare the cost between these. Okay, so here's what they're looking like. They did spill over, but that's okay. They're still gonna come out good. They were really puffy, but they have reduced in size even just a couple of minutes out of the oven. So I'm gonna pull them out of the tins. So they don't look exactly the same. They're a little distorted, but I did the best that I could. So I'm just gonna put them in these cupcake wraps or cupcake liners to help keep them straight up. Okay, so in case you were wondering, I made 8 frittatas. The frittatas that come in the package only come with 6, but this one made 8. They look so good. I mean, I know that the bottoms, they're not perfectly shaped or whatever. They came out a little distorted, but maybe next time I'll have to spray a little bit more oil spray to help them release from the pan better. But so it has a good amount of bacon and spinach and cheese. The egg is a little bit overcooked, so I probably would reduce the cooking time. I think I cooked it for like 18 minutes. Maybe it'd be best for like 15 minutes. But other than that, it's good. The cheese is really melty, or cheese. It's really good. You could taste the bacon, you could taste the spinach. I like it. It's simple and easy, and it's going to be easy for me to pull these out every morning. Probably pair it with a piece of toast and maybe a piece of fruit or something like that, and I have a good, well-rounded breakfast. So as I was cooking, I was writing down everything that I put in there. I measured everything out. I have the differences between the price and the calories. It's really not much of a difference. It's just barely off. So for Jimmy Dean's frittatas, they were $7.99 for a 6 count. I did make 8, but my total amount came out to $9.74. And so there's only about a 10-cent difference per serving. And for the Jimmy Dean's, it's 130 calories a piece, and mine is 120 calories, which is only a 10-calorie difference. The only difference that you're getting with my homemade ones, and if you were to do the same, is that I'm using cheese alternative instead of real cheese. I mean, I did put Parmesan cheese in there, but I don't really worry about Parmesan cheese. The only other difference would be is that you know exactly what ingredients you put in there, you know how much sodium you're putting in there, and you get to make sure that there's no cross-contamination if you're worried about glutens. And you might even be able to get them a little bit cheaper. If you had them like on Ibotta, you would get a rebate for it, so it would even be a better price for you. So overall, I would say that the Jimmy Dean's is probably a good, safe purchase. I would probably be comfortable with buying their frittatas in the future. So next I'm going to try to recreate the Jimmy Dean's Delight breakfast bowl. I'm not really sure how many bowls I'm going to make yet, it just depends. Okay, so for this dish, I'm going to be using Stater Brothers diced hash brown potatoes, turkey sausage patties, some diced onion and bell pepper, some plant-based shredded cheese, and some liquid egg whites. So this meal is pretty self-explanatory, it's pretty easy. I just added some oil spray to a pan and I put in my onion and my bell pepper and I let them cook for a couple of minutes until they got a little bit tender. And then I added in about 1.5 cups of the hash browns. They're still frozen, so you're basically just heating them up and then kind of cooking them all the way through and trying to brown them a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. And then I chopped up my turkey patties and I added that into the pan and I wanted to brown those up as well. And then I just seasoned everything up with garlic, salt, and pepper. After this, I'm just going to be adding in my egg whites. I used about 1/2 of the carton of egg whites, seasoned it up a little bit with salt and pepper. You don't see it in the video, but I did. And then you just cook it up and you wait until it's finished and then you just add your cheese on top and you let the cheese melt. But I didn't want the eggs to burn, so I did turn the pan off and I let the cheese melt with the lid on for a good 5 to 10 minutes until it was completely melted. So I'm like super excited about this because this made 3 breakfasts. If you were to buy them from the store, they are $3.49 a piece and you can only buy one. They only come in a package of 1. But I made 3 of them. And I ended up only using 1/2 of the carton of eggs. You could use the whole thing and it would still become cheaper than if you would have used only 1/2 of it. And I wrote this down because I have a horrible memory. So for the Jimmy Dean Egg White Delights, it's $3.49 for 1 serving and it's 270 calories. For mine, it's almost exactly the same. The only thing I did differently was I added some bell pepper and onions, which I did include in the cost. And it came out to $2.71 per serving and 252 calories per serving. So you're saving about 78 cents per serving by making it yourself. And you get to add extra flavor with the onion and the bell pepper if that's what you like. You could even add tomato or spinach. You could play around with all the flavors that you want, but basically what makes it a delight is the egg white. And you get a good amount of potato in there. I don't really know what their egg white delights taste like. I haven't tried them, but it did pique my interest. That's the whole reason why I made this dish. But what I really like about it is that even though it's a little bit cheaper, you still have more flavor and you get a little bit less calories. So you get more bang for your buck, and I get to have 3 servings in my refrigerator or my freezer for whenever I feel like having this breakfast. So I would say yes to this dish. And in case you are wondering, yes, I probably would serve this with another piece of fruit or maybe one of those little daily yogurts or something like that, and possibly some coffee. The next thing that I'm going to make is these English muffin sandwiches, breakfast sandwiches. It's going to mimic the Egg White Delight Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwiches, and instead of ham, I'm going to use this white turkey that I have because I don't have ham and I didn't really want to buy any, so I'm just going to use this instead. So let's go ahead and use the rest of the egg whites in here. So there really isn't a whole lot to say about making these muffin sandwiches. I just warmed up my turkey on both sides until it was a little bit brown. I also heated up my bacon in the microwave for about 45 seconds. And then I just assembled them with egg whites. I did measure them out, so they're 3 tablespoons each. They could have used a little bit more egg, I'm not gonna lie. They weren't filled enough with egg, but it will do. I also toasted the muffins off camera. I didn't put any butter or mayonnaise on them. I probably could have, but I didn't. I left it plain, so that's optional for you if you wanted to. But yeah, after that, I just assembled everything together and I was done. turkey and 2 with bacon. Now let's run down the price difference and the calorie difference. Okay, so for the Jimmy Dean's, they're $7.60 for a box of 4, which makes them $1.90 a piece. But with mine, because I did 2 with bacon and 2 with turkey, they came out to $5.96 for all 4 of them, which makes them $1.49 a piece. And if we're gonna compare calories, for the bacon one, it's 262 calories, and for the turkey one, it's 276 calories, but the Jimmy Dean ones are 230 calories each. So you're still saving a little bit of calories by eating the Jimmy Dean ones. Not by much. The cost is a little bit less, about 50 cents cheaper if you were to just make them yourself. So you can choose whether or not you think this is a good deal or not, if it's worth your time. I'm gonna go ahead and package these up. I'm just gonna put them in a plastic sandwich bag wrapped in a napkin, and then I'm probably just gonna put them in the freezer. I started to realize that this video was getting kind of long, so I decided to end it here. But I hope that this offers some insight or motivation for you guys. And you like this video, I am gonna make the part 2 where I'm gonna recreate the healthy choice meals. So stay tuned for that video, and until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.